Hey YouTube, welcome back to Ken's Cards. Still talking about how to flip cards on eBay and make decent money to keep growing your business and get bigger and bigger, and hopefully, the end game is have enough money in the bank to retire and enjoy the good life. First of all, I'd like to go back to a comment I made in my last video when I was imitating, Kevin Hart. He's my favorite comedian. When I was like, oh no, I own a computer. That one. Yeah. When my wife got home, she said, she's like, oh, did you make a video today? And I said, yeah, I did. I said, it turned out really good. And she's like, oh, I'd like to see it. So I propped it up for her and played it. And then when she got to that part, she was like, and she was like, oh, really? And I was like, oh, man. I did it now, but truth be told, she is an amazing woman. God did me a huge favor by putting that beautiful woman in my life. And I'm not saying that because, I got the stare down and I got the oh really and everything else that's going on. And, she was like, no, I'm just kidding. We're like two peas in a pod. Like I said, I couldn't ask for a better woman in my life. I mean, she is just great. She doesn't complain about anything. She is so positive about everything. I'll give you an example. In your mind, you know for a fact that it could be like, I'm just going to use a sweater for example. It could be the worst looking sweater. It could be hideous. But if you were to walk up to her and have a smile on your face and be like, look what I bought. Isn't it pretty? Now, I don't know what her mind is thinking, but it's always positive coming out of her mouth. And she'd be like, you would look amazing in that sweater. Oh my God, it's beautiful. And then I'll be sitting right next to her going, are we looking at the same damn sweater? Ugh, I don't know. But she's great. We are a house divided. She is a State fan, and I'm a Michigan fan, so it always makes it interesting during the season, whatever sport it is. We're always like, but to get back to card flipping, I'm gonna go over a few things. Damaged cards, something because I watch SportsCenter every morning while I'm getting all this set up. And I always like to try to branch off their topics about who's the better player, and I'll pick a couple sports and I'll throw you my 2 cents, and feel free to put it as down in the description who you like and your opinion about it. I do have 8 packages. Yeah, 8 packages came in the mail, and submitting cards to Beckett, and then I did buy one thing last night. And I did sell cards, so it was always a good day when you sell something. Speaking of last night, there was an auction, 2 of them, matter of fact, because I've been waiting to get a snakeskin jersey or a rookie card, snakeskin. That's what they call it, snakeskin. I don't even have an example to show you. They're so rare. And there was one graded at 10, white jersey Zion snakeskin, and I was. Man, I was licking my chops. I wanted that card so bad. But then all of a sudden, the same person that was selling that card was selling another card, but they ended within 2 seconds of each other. So I did a bunch of, separate screens on my one computer. I had one here, and I was seeing how fast I could switch back and forth, because I really, really wanted both these cards. And then I'm thinking to myself, well, I got more than one computer in the house, so let me go ahead and set up that computer. So I had one auction, which was the snakeskin one, ended after the second card that I wanted. And so I had one set up, and I had my two mice and mouses in my hand, and the countdown happened. I was going to click this one at 4 seconds and immediately go right over to this one and click that one, because there's only but a couple seconds involved. I'm not quite sure what went wrong. You can see this is not a smile. This is a look of confusion. When I clicked submit on the one card, it flashed and it said, like it was asking me to confirm again. You put a bid in, you push, submit, and then it asks you to confirm it, and then that's where I sit on it and I watch the countdown. And I push submit, at 4 seconds, which is I use 4 seconds all the time, and it flashed again and asked me if I was sure. I have never ever gotten that prompt before. It asked me if I was sure, and it made me that second look, and I was like, oh crap, and I went back, and I only had 2 seconds. By the time I looked back at the other auction, it was already at 1 second. I pushed submit anyway, you know, and I didn't get either one of those dang things. I was up until yeah, it was midnight ish. Yeah, maybe I do have a problem. But you know, that's unfortunately that's like when all this I bought off this guy plenty of times, and you know, in all his good auctions. Matter of fact, that's where I got the silver from. It ends so late at night. You know, he's on the West Coast. You know, so his auctions are middle of the night for me. It seems like most times. But let me get into. But nonetheless, I didn't win either one of them, and I really wanted that snakeskin. I would have won that snakeskin. I'm not saying I don't know how much that last bid was on the guy that actually won it, but mine was significantly higher than his. But it didn't go through, and kudos to him because he's probably got himself a really nice card. They're not numbered, but man, are they rare. Man, they're rare. And to get a PSA 10 white jersey snakeskin, that could have been big bucks in the future. But I'd like to talk to you about, I've gotten some comments about slim pickings. I'm not going to beat up on this too much because I don't want to say I'm guilty of it, but I do have such a high standard when it comes to looking at cards. First of all, I never used to submit cards to PSA or Beckett. This is my first subscription, and I had some really nice ones, and I do look at them, and I finally had a stack of cards, and I was like, man, these are all, according to my standards, you know, should grade extremely, you know, they should be gems. And I put myself at a higher standard. I watched this video, and this guy was like, you know, he was like, it's all right, man. If you got a little white in the corner, man, don't freak out, man. You send that thing over to, you know, you send it to PSA or Beckett, man, and they'll, you know, it's the overall quality of the whole card, you know. But I'm telling you what, mine's got a smidge of white in that corner. Back into the and up for sale, you know. But the difference is you get cards, you know, like I said, like, you know, I got this one where clearly this is not a gradable card, and it's got that huge, you know, defect in that card, and it's as plain as day. You can see it; it stands out like a sore thumb. But nonetheless, he posted it as if nothing was there, and you know, and I bought it and I got it, and now I'm sending that crap right back. I'm just waiting. I did email him, and he did ask for some specific information. I sent that to him, but he has not sent me back a return label, and I'll ask him for that later. But nonetheless, it was, you know, it's just, I guess what I'm getting at is Zion has an average, every time I click on his auctions, there's always 27 to 28,000 cards for sale. Now, I'm assuming that because it's been out for so long that there are a lot of graders out there, and there are probably a lot of secondhand cards that, you know, because I get, every once in a while when I'm selling cards, I get that text message, you know, saying, hey, you know, you're just not selling me a bunch of crap, are you? Well, no, because I take the time, and I'm not here to rob anybody. I have 100% feedback, and I have over 2,000 feedback, and I've done a lot more transactions than that. And at the bottom of mine, when I'm doing my description, I put in there, if it's got a soft corner, I put it in there, near mint to mint, and this is why I think that it's that way. And at the bottom, I do put a disclosure in there saying, hey, look, you know, you're buying this at your own will based on my description and the pictures. If you're looking for cards to flip and grade and it doesn't come back with the grade that you want, it is not my fault. You are assuming all risks by buying this card. And it's almost like you have to put that disclosure in there because you know, people get the cards and they don't care about the description. Heck, that's why I got a few of these scrappy ones over here in this my junk pile that I got, because I didn't read the description, but I own it and I keep them, you know. But if you don't, then I send that crap right back to you, you know, because if I know about it, then it's my choice. I'm buying a damaged card because I know about it, or I'm not buying a damaged card because I know about it. Either way, the buyer should know about it. and that's the difference between me and a lot of other people. I'll just take the beating, and I get what I can get out of it. If it's damaged and I post it, it's clearly stated, which is the right thing to do. And if they still buy it, then that's on them. I sold a silver. It had a dimple on it like this one right here, and I bought it for a couple hundred. They typically sell for $5. I posted it, for $325 with the saying that it had a bad, it had it in there. I even highlighted it and drew a dang yellow line around, or a circle around it, and the guy still bought it outright. He took it, buy it out now, and he left me feedback. So clearly he read the description. He was willing to take that little mark, and it was just a small one up at the top. So, I mean, it wasn't the end of the world for that card. Still a really nice card. I'm going to jump into who do I think is better. Okay, we'll start off with basketball. I'm not even going to talk about Zion right now. He's played 19 games so far. And man, I've seen that dude do some. He's got some of the craziest dunks I've ever seen. But the two people that they were talking about on SportsCenter were MJ and LeBron James. Who do you think's better? Even if LeBron James went back and played in the 90s and vice versa, who would be better? For me, hands down, Michael Jordan, one of the greatest. LeBron James is going to be one of the greatest. They're both amazing ball players, but all-around ball player, I think Jordan squeezes them out, and he ends up being my pick as a better ball player than LeBron. But that's just me. Now, the other one I'm going to talk about real quick is football. Now, we can sit here and debate all day long, and I mean, there's plenty of great running backs out there, but I'm not going to, be too biased on considering the jacket I'm wearing right now, but what? Oh yeah, Barry Sanders. Yeah. I actually had the pleasure of meeting him. It was really amazing. He's the most down to earth guy I've ever met. When I first met him and I told him, he found out, he's like, "What do you do?" And I said, "Well, I'm retired military." And when he found out that I was retired military, and I'm good friends with a card store, memorabilia shop here in town, and he lets me come in, and when he has signings and stuff like that, he lets me come in behind the scenes and talk to him if I make that arrangement ahead of time. And Barry Sanders, once he found out I was in the military, instead of, I had a pile of questions in my head, a mile long for Barry, and I think I got one out before he asked. It was like switched. It was the Q&A was for me. What about this and what about that? And I go to Iraq and you go to this and that, and he's like, "Man, you're awesome." And I mean, he was the most down to earth athlete that I have ever met. I mean, he was just an amazing guy to talk to, and I had the great privilege of get him to sign something, talking to him, and taking a picture, and it was amazing. But my two picks for you, and you, like I said, you can pick who you want and put it down in the description and list why. But mine is Barry Sanders. I'll go with Barry Sanders all day long. But Emmitt Smith, I think that's the two biggest comparisons. And I only got one. The reason why I think Barry Sanders is because he played for Detroit, and he broke records playing for Detroit. Emmitt Smith, his offensive line would create such a hole for him. You could drive a semi through that thing. Could you imagine a guy like Barry Sanders having a hole like that with his ability to duke and dive? And I mean that guy ran parallel sometimes, 45-degree angles, and he would destroy every record there would be for running backs. He would destroy every record. But he played for Detroit, still broke records, and Emmitt played for Dallas. And I think even if I was not from Detroit or Dallas, and I had to pick between these two, I would still go with Barry Sanders. But that's just me. But you can also say, I'm also from Detroit, and I met him. But I put it in the description. Tell me what you think. I do have 8 packages that came in the mail. Oh man, what's in it? There's 8 of them. I did sell a card, so that's good news. Um, Still waiting to send this one back. I sold this one as well, but it's not basketball. It's baseball. I've had this in my up for sale for quite some time. I kind of raised all the prices up a little bit higher to where if somebody paid for them, and I bought all those as soon as the product was released. I went on a little bit of a baseball Bowman Chrome buying binge, and mostly like Riley Green and stuff like that. But I did pick up a bunch of the other ones, and that was one of them. And I have no idea who these rookies are gonna pan out. But I will give you some advice. If you can afford, like I said, if you can afford a case of the Bowman Chrome autograph, and you get 36, 40 autographs, whatever it is, and a bunch of other parallels and this and that. If you pick like this past year, there are so many good rookies. I mean, there was a lot of pitchers. You don't ever. I mean, nothing against pitchers, but they just don't hold their value very well. You got to pitch you got to have a couple Cy Youngs under your belt and pitch a couple no hitters and be a Nolan Ryan, and be the MVP of the World Series. But a good ball player like Trout, Acuna, and all these other players. But if you can pick, I think this year was a very good product, and I did stockpile a little bit of it. But it's kind of hard to. This guy did to buy it now. What are you gonna do, right? I guess he really wanted that card, so I put it up there way higher than what I posted. And I just raised. I didn't feel like ending the auction, so I just raised it all up, and so that way it would sit there until they started playing baseball again. But my point is yeah, a case is going to cost you about $2,700, but there are so many good rookies in certain classes that the prices of what people are paying. The Bowman for this 2020 Bowman came out, and it's got Jason. I can't really remember how to pronounce his last name, but he plays for the Yankees. He's a big, humongous kid. Man, that kid's a tank. I mean, he's big, and he was just hitting home runs at will. And he's kind of like an Aaron Judd, and his rookie cards are through the roof. I mean, I think they were paying $30,000 for a graded Judd at one time for the refractors and stuff. But anyway, his first Bowman autograph for sale on eBay went for $17,000. $17,000 for that dang card. That's amazing. $2,700, 17 grand. Are you kidding me? And almost every rookie, it doesn't matter who you pull. If you pull a 1-1 of the worst player in that set, you're still probably going to make your money back. I'm not kidding you. You're going to make your money back. They're a little bit rare, but with all the different parallels and all the different, 36, 40 autos, you're going to typically pull one of at least all the good players. And you give it 2-3 years down the road, and you get your Trout and all these other good players. I mean, and then all of a sudden, you're definitely going to get your money back, But there's cards out there that will give you your money back in a split second. And then past year, the 2019 Bowman Chrome Auto draft at the end of the year, I think it came out in December. It was hefty, man. There was a lot of big rookies in that set. A lot of big rookies. I mean, paid $200 for that card. I think I paid $97 for it when it first came out, so you really wanted it. Again, I got 8 packages to open here, and submitting cards to Beckett. I want to talk about that real briefly. I called them up because they did say that they got my package. Just a little bit of advice for submitting cards to Beckett. If you're a first-time subscriber and you're going to submit cards, do yourself a favor and call them first. They will set you up in an account, and the lady that I spoke with, she sent me after she had all my personal information, she created me an account number, because when you're a first-time guy, they make you a first-time, and then they give you an account. But to avoid confusion and possibly getting your stuff lost because they're so backlogged, I mean, it's been a week, and and you know when they start touching your cards because they charge your credit card, and and you get an email. And when you spend $400 something to get your stuff graded, it kind of makes you a little nervous. It makes me really extremely nervous. Like I said, this is my first time. I'm excited, but I'm nervous. But they call them up. They'll send you the PDF in your email, and you use that to fill it out. And then, so as soon as they get it, they know exactly who it belongs to. I got the video starting. It's over 20 minutes again. I love talking. Believe me, I hear it all the time. So let me start getting some of this stuff. Hey, hold on a second. Let's see what we got here. I'll go over what I got. Hopefully, because I haven't posted anything in a day or two. Let's see what we got here. All right. So we got our prisms in. Kobe. And that's the ones that I paid for. That he actually gave me this one for free, and I paid for this one. I paid $30 for it. It's kind of on the low end of what they usually sell for, so I'm probably gonna hang on to that one for a minute to see, because Kobe stuff is really starting to climb. So I'm gonna give that a little bit. I'm hanging on to all his high-end stuff that I got in my collection to when he really takes off, because I don't want to have to replenish my high-end stuff. I want when I sell it to get ready to move on to the next set of players and stuff. I want to. Oh, this is a nice one. Hopefully these pan out. These ones are selling hot. Hopefully when he pans out and moves, I can dump them, move on to the bigger stuff, or a different product and a different player, different sport. So I'll show you these real quick. These are my Zions that I picked up. Very happy about this purchase. I got another amazing deal for these. These are his fireworks, and then this is just his instant. None of them are prisms, but these are taken off. I paid $50 for all these, and these two right here sell for 100, and then this one's just extra. So you can do the math on that real quick. I'm just trying to run through these real fast. I got 8 to open. Like I said, I'm starting to collect in the other sport. Another Jordan Love prism. This one's numbered to 149. It'll go into the stash for now, and then wait to be sold when the season starts. Actually, I'm gonna hang on to him for a while because he's Aaron Rodgers getting up there in age, and he might actually hurt. If he gets hurt and he comes out and he starts playing really well, that could be an extremely good card. Another great card right here. This one's, hopefully, I don't have my glasses on, so, and I don't want to have to be cussing on camera again because I'm finding disastrous stuff. But this is the green, the neon green for Kobe. I couldn't help myself, but it looks pretty good. But so far, I've gotten just the 3 that I'm going to put up back up for sale. Oh, here's another one. Look at that. That's what the one. Look at that. The red, white, and blue Kobe. I think I paid $12 for this card. And this is his white jersey one, and I believe just like this one, it's his white jersey one. And I think it's just like the Zion white. There's a huge significant difference between his white and his blue. They're both rookies. They're both, they both say rookie. It's not like one's an insert. They're both rookie cards, but I don't think one's rarer than the other. That's the thing. So I still haven't got my silver in yet. It's starting to make me a little nervous. You know, I keep an eye on that one. That one would, wow. I think I would have to stop making videos. I don't think I'd ever recover if for some reason that one got lost in the mail. But I mean, there is insurance on it. But man, can you imagine losing a $2,700 card in the mail? I would almost think that somebody's out to get me. This is another graded card. I got a really good deal on this one. Again, it'll be I could turn around and make money on this, but this will obviously go, well, I can't take it out there. But this is his PSA 10 blue refractor white jersey. I paid $149 for that card, and I've seen them end for sale go for about about $299. This one's kind of thick. I do have the silver is not the only like big time one I got coming through the mail. There's I got other ones. This might be one of the big ones here. She packaged pretty well. It's a package to a package to a package. There's really no safe spot to cut this. Here we go. You ready for this one? It's not his silver, but it's his white jersey Mojo refractor, number to 49, PSA 10 Mojo refractor. Oh yeah, I like that one. And we got one more to open up here. Clearly my silver did not make it in today. Now, I hope you understand that these videos are being made based on the profits that I did make from back in the day when I first started back in the collecting. And so I know you see all of this high-end stuff, you know, but I started off with, you know, like I said, my initial investment, and this is what it's grown into. This is the, I don't want to say this is the end game, but this is what you're looking to do. You know, how many times have you, as a collector, looked at it and been like, man, what it would be like to own something like that? Wow. Sold that card for $40,000. I guarantee you that if he becomes anything like Kobe, LeBron, or Michael Jordan, this card right here will sell for 15 grand someday. 15 grand. I promise you. And I picked up a couple more Kobe's. Not quite yet the 50, but I'm hoping by the time I hit 50, they'll be up to about $30, $35 a card, which would be perfect considering, you know, I think I bought these right here for 20, so $10 each. It's my video for today, and I'll do my wife a good solid, you know, because I love her. And today I'll end it with Go Green. I said it! Till next time, this is Ken's Cards.